Hello y'all! So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make this cool little XOXO cuff. So let's get started! For this, I'm using 36 inches of string. To start it, we're just going to fold that string in half like this. And to get started on the O part over here, we're just going to add 7 beads onto the string. Make sure it's at the bottom of the string. So with the string folded in half, we have 7 beads on the string, and I just arranged them like this just so it's a bit easier to see. And then we're going to string on 3 beads and then put one end of the string through those 3 beads so that the beads sort of close in on each other and make this O shape. So this side of the string is going through those 3 beads. Next, we're just going to pull. After pulling the string, this is the shape I got, similar to the O shape over here. Next, we're going to be moving on to the X part. For that, we're just going to need 2 beads on each end of the string. We're going to hold both ends of the string together like this, then string on 1 bead, pull that all the way down so that these 2 beads sort of connect or close in on this 1 bead over here. So both ends of the string are going through this 1 bead. Next, we're just gonna pull that to like that. And then it should look a little something like this. Finish that off with 2 more beads on each end of the string. So we just added the 2 beads on each end of the string. Next, we're going to add 3 more beads on one end of the string to continue with the O shape over here. We're going to take this string and put it through. So the string that was over here on this side, we just put that through these 3 beads. So after putting the 3 beads on the string, we added 2 beads on each side of the string, and then we added 3 more beads on one end of the string. And we're basically do the same thing as this one. We're going to put this string through these 3 beads so that the beads close in and make this sort of circle shape. It should be looking something like this. Look! Oh, do y'all see that? Oh, do y'all see that? Look at that. Okay. Here's what it's looking like so far. Next, we're gonna continue with the X shape over here. For that, we're just gonna do the same thing as before, where we added 2 beads on each side of the string, 1 bead between both ends of the string, and then 2 more beads on each side of the string. And then you'll never guess, we're gonna continue with the circle part until it sort of forms like a length that will fit around your wrist like this. Okay. So to continue the X shape, we have 2 beads on each end of the string. Next, we're just going to connect these ends of the string, slide 1 bead through both, and then that would be this part over here. Here's what that looks like. Okay. Whee! Next, we're just going to add 2 more beads on each end of the string. So now that we know how to make each part, the O and the X, I'm going to keep expanding upon this until I get a length that will fit around my wrist like so. And then I'll show y'all how to tie it off, and then we'll be done. So I am now done. Next, I'm just going to tie this off, and to do that, we're just going to take both ends of the string, bring them over here. We're just going to take each end of the string, put it through this bead over here and this bead over here. Basically the first 3 beads that we started off with. And then we're gonna tie it together. It's gonna be really cool, I think. We're gonna put this end through this bead over here. Yoink. Now that both strings are coming out of these 2 beads, we're just gonna put either end of the string, you can pick whichever one, through this middle bead right here so that the 2 ends of the string are really close, and then we can just tie it off right there, and then we'll be done. And then once we've pulled, it should look something like this. Now that the 2 strings are close to each other, we're just gonna tie them together and cut the ends of the string off, and then we'll be done. Oh my good gravy, look at this. What? That's so cool. But yeah guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.